You've all heard the debate about the greatest of all time, or the GOAT. In basketball, it's either Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, maybe Chamberlain or Russell. In boxing, it's Ali, or maybe Tyson. You get the idea. But what we have today may be the greatest stock market bubble of all time. So, let's take a look. Bubbles have a few unique characteristics which can't be captured by financial metrics. The most important characteristic is that mainstream financial managers and pundits don't see it as a bubble because it's different this time. The other characteristic is that it continues to expand beyond historic valuation levels, as if earnings and multiples no longer matter. To a degree, they're correct, as the money printing is also beyond measure. But even under these circumstances, the music can stop, as it did in March of this year. This chart here from Advisor Perspectives shows the regression to trend is also at an all-time high. Some of you may not have been around for the peaks as shown in the charts, but don't let that comfort you. The backside of those peaks can be brutal. And if you're older like me, each peak becomes more and more important because that means there are only so many chances one will get. We all need to make the most of the peaks and the valleys. But don't be fearful or greedy. You need to be prudent and patient. As this chart from Charles Hughes Smith shows, every leg higher takes less and less time to reach greater extremes. And that's another characteristic worth noting. There's an acceleration of duration, amplitude, and volatility as bubbles form. So enjoy perhaps the greatest bubble of all time. But watch the clock. Those Cinderella gains vanish at midnight. Now, let's go to one more chart. And this last chart here is the 20-year weekly. On the spiders, the SPY, I'm using the weekly simply to give you a different perspective. So I'm going to draw some important things that you need to keep in mind. And from here, drawing through there, that bottom trend line. Up here, the trend line going that way. That is forming a megaphone formation. Keep that in mind. Down here, volume continues to drop. Not a very good line, but you get the idea. Again, in the MACD, another megaphone formation there and here. Probably the same thing there in the histogram. Here in the price rate of change, pretty good decline in the last several months or so. Here, to me, I think one of the more important of the oscillators. From this top here, heading on down. That divergence is not comfortable, at least to me. And the stochastic's not going to tell us much, and neither is Williams. But going back up here to the price chart, looking at that mega formation, if we fail up here, there's a possibility we can drop all the way down here. Keep that in mind. Again, patience and prudence. And for today, that's ChewDog Charts. Thank you.